Hi, welcome back to the recap room. In today's video, we're going to be talking about another comedy film titled Road Trip, Bèer, Pong. Be warned, this video contains some major spoilers. The movie starts with a prospective student, Kyle, arriving in front of some freshmen and telling them that he will be giving them a tour of their college. He then takes them to a classroom where he begins to tell them the story of three best friends who made their way to a beer pong championship. He tells everyone that Andy and his girlfriend Katie had been together since grade 6. They began as lab partners and eventually started dating and been together ever since. Kyle then has a flashback. Andy is naked and recording a song for Katie when Corking, a friend of his, walks into the room and Andy stops filming. Andy leaves his dorm room with Corking and tells him that he's going to give Katie the recording as a last-minute anniversary present. He tells Corking he has reminders set for their anniversary, but the reminder somehow got deleted. Corking then reveals that he was the one who had deleted the reminder, since he wants Andy to experience more. He tells Andy that he has been with Katie forever and that he is in college now and should take advantage of the fact that his girlfriend is in another state attending college. The next day, Katie arrives at the University of Ithaca, where Andy is enrolled. She surprises Andy and tells him that she has transferred to his college because she couldn't stand the distance between them. Andy and his friends are less than thrilled about Katie transferring, and Corking tells Andy that this is what he meant when he said that Katie is too invested in their relationship. That night, Andy, Katie, Jake and Corking visit a bar, where Andy tries to warn Katie that every time someone puts money into the tip jar, the workers have to flash their breasts. But before he can do so, Corking puts money in the jar, and all the female bartenders lift their shirts. Katie seems uncomfortable, but decides to be a good sport and not say anything. At the bar is the University of Ithaca's beer pong championships, where Andy and Jake are participating. Corking pays one of the waiters to distract the opposing team, and Andy manages to score against them. Their team ends up winning, and the announcer announces that their team is off for the beer pong championship in Atlanta. Andy worries that he might have to leave Katie so soon after she has arrived, but Corking shows him a poster of a few beer pong models and tells him that they are going to meet hot girls there and that he needs to experiment not being with Katie. Andy realizes that he recognizes one of the models and tells them he knew Jenna in the middle school. Jenna was his first love, but they ended up losing touch with each other. Corking convinces him that he needs to call Jenna and he can experiment with her. If he doesn't like it, he can come back to Katie. After a while, Andy agrees and decides to call Jenna. Jenna seems excited to meet Andy and tells him that he should come and meet her and her friends in Illinois before going to Atlanta. The three friends then decide to go on a road trip, but soon realize that they need someone to sponsor the trip. Jake tells them that he knows a Lebanese man who is rich enough to be able to afford their trip, and so they make their way to his house and meet Arash. Arash becomes interested in beer pong after Jake shows him a trick. Before they can get further in their deal, the CIA bursts through the windows and doors and take all of them to a black site where they are tortured the whole night. Meanwhile, back at her dorm, Katie waits for Andy to get back as they had plans. She gets increasingly worried when Andy does not show up. When the CIA releases them, Andy calls Katie and fills her in on what happened, but she gets mad and refuses to believe his outrageous excuse. The boys then decide that to leave, they need to steal a taxi and make their way to the beer pong championships. They get Arash to steal a taxi and they drive away. After a few hours, Arash needs to use the toilet, so they stop at a club where Andy remains outside and calls Katie, while the rest of the men go inside the club. Inside, it is a strip club, and three strippers begin to grind against them. Arash ends up urinating on one of the strippers and they are kicked out of the club. As they are driving away, they come across a woman and offer her a ride. She gets into the stolen taxi and calls them out on their lies. She figures out that they had stolen the taxi and asks them to stop at a gas station so that they can get snacks. Inside the shop in the gas station, Andy tells everyone that they cannot go around picking up random strangers and that they should leave without the woman. Meanwhile, the woman fills her card and pulls out a gun. She gets the cashier to give her all the cash and steals the car keys from Corking before leaving without them. Andy and the boys then run out the back door to evade the cops. They make their way through the woods and make their way to the highway. Defeated, Andy tells them that they should pray for help. This pisses Corking off, who then sarcastically starts praying when all of a sudden, a bus stops near them and a beautiful girl named Sarah steps out. She asks them if they are okay, and Corking lies and tells her that their car got stolen and that they are stranded. Sarah offers them a ride to the fair, and Corking tells her that they are going to the fair as well. Sarah tells Corking that they are the Chastity Girls. That night, as everyone sleeps on the bus, Sarah tells Corking that she knows that they are lying about who they are. Corking then tells her the truth and reveals that they were on their way to the beer pong championships. Sarah, satisfied with Corking's explanation, announces to the girls that they are taking a detour to Atlanta. Everyone takes turns driving the bus. When Erich starts driving, he gets distracted by talking to a girl and crashes the bus. They then resume the journey and everyone falls asleep. The next morning, when Andy wakes up, Corking tells him that they have made a pit stop in Kentucky at Katie's mother's house. Andy freaks out but plays along and meets her mother, who excitedly announces that she's waiting for Andy and Katie to get married. Meanwhile, Jake teaches the girls how to play beer pong and everyone parties at night. Andy receives a call from Katie, who has seen a video of a naked Andy singing a song for Katie and she has forgiven him. The next day, as everyone leaves, Katie's mother gives them all lunches and tells Andy that he should communicate with Katie so that they can resolve their issues. Everyone eventually arrives at the beer pong championship and Andy goes to find Jenna. Jenna excitedly hugs him and leads him toward the stage and introduces him. She then urges Andy to sing the song from his viral video for the crowd. At first, he is hesitant, but then crumbles under pressure and starts singing. Everyone begins to cheer for him and Jenna kisses him once the song is over. Katie sees the video and immediately shuts her computer. Andy goes to Jenna's trailer with her, where the two kiss and things get heated. Andy pushes Jenna away and tells her that he cannot sleep with her because there is a complication. Jenna tells him that his complication is a lucky girl and leaves the trailer. Andy realizes that he loves Katie and tries to call her, but she does not answer his calls. As the competition starts, Katie arrives in Atlanta. As she's parking her car, she comes across Jenna and she tells her that she's a lucky girl before leaving. Katie finds Andy inside, preparing for the championship. She meets Andy and he begins to apologize and explain his behavior, but Katie tells him that everything is okay. She tells him that she has decided to transfer back to her college. When Andy continues apologizing, Katie tells him that he can just be her friend for a while. As the competition starts, Jake begins to heavily drink and Andy is distracted after getting his heart broken. Halfway through the game, the opposing team begins to score and Jake passes out. All the pressure to win is directed toward Andy and he begins to grow nervous. As Katie watches from the sidelines, she goes up to Andy's opponent and kisses him, successfully distracting him. This then gives Andy the chance to score the winning shot and his team wins. They win the championships and Katie leaves. And that's it for the recap. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the like button and the notification bell to be notified of our future uploads.